Welcome back to the Broker Power Up podcast, the AIME podcast for strategy, stories, and insights to help you close more loans. I'm Tommy Golightly, joined by Jonathon Haddad.
We are here, my friend, another week, another episode.
Episode 9, almost the double digits. We have a lot going on today. The Broker Buzz, where we dive into the top posts of the week from the Brokers Are Best Facebook group and discuss what's trending, what's working, and what you need to know. Then we're going to have a sales pitch training where John helps us hone our sales and skills. And then we'll wrap things up with story time with John about coaching. So that's an exciting one I'm looking forward to. But first, as we start every podcast, we got a fortune cookie. So let's break it open and see what this week's fortune is. Ooh, breaking apart on me. And it is a creative project will flourish this Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. So is that this Wednesday or is it next Wednesday?
I'm going with this Wednesday, big dog. That's wild. That's a pretty good one. Is that really what it says?
A creative project will flourish this Wednesday.
Yeah.
So what that means is that even though this comes out on Monday, maybe we push this episode and then people like you, good listeners, can push this as well. And this episode will flourish and we'll get lots of views and lots of listens.
That is the best approach. I love that it's always optimistic. I think that's the point of fortune cookies is, hey, the optimism. And you know what's really cool about fortune cookies, Tommy, is for most people, I think there's some out there that are pessimistic, but it's cool that most people try and grasp onto something in their life that correlates to whatever the fortune is. And there's a lot that goes into that. So I'm excited. I like the word flourishing. I love that it's Wednesday. Had the morning call today, every Wednesday, like we do. So for those listening, you'll see your Wednesday coming up next week as we read this fortune. So think about your next Wednesday. When you hear this on Monday, remember the Wednesday coming up is your Wednesday to flourish, my friends. Your Wednesday to flourish. So I appreciate that one, Tommy.
Yeah. So what are you going to do creatively to flourish?
Oh,
Be inspired.
I'm in a very creative zone right now. So whether it's just the marketing material, the things that we're posting with AIME, the things I have behind the scenes, I am all about creativity. Over the next few weeks, I think that's where my mind has just been going constantly.
I know what this might be in reference to. Later today, we have a team marketing meeting where we're going to discuss some creative ideas for Fuse. So that's where they will flourish on this Wednesday.
There's your one, my friend.
There it is. So let's dive into the broker buzz this week. We have our first question. If I can find it here. Here we go. One of my favorite RE referral partners called me tonight to tell he was invited to a meet and greet today by one of his agent friends. New American Funding had a huge group of invitees there, and they were pitching their new program to help the realtors get licensed with NMLS so that they could earn 50 basis points per loan by partnering with NAF. Anyone know anything about this? John, do you know anything about this?
So, I'm not going to sit there and talk about New American Funding. I don't know their business practices. I don't know what they're doing or not doing. Here's what I do know. People have tried to figure something out like this for a long time. The biggest companies in the world have tried to figure stuff out like this. The largest retail company in the nation tried to figure something out like this. So, look, if that's all your agent cares about is they want to get paid, and that's the only thing on their mind, and they care about nothing else, you're gonna lose that situation. For me, I don't lose my agents to stuff like that, but I also don't work with agents that are just driven by how can you make more money and put it in my pocket. I know that's the end goal. I know that's where we want to get to. The reality is we just have to do more as loan officers. There's no other way to put it. It is really hard for somebody to take an agent from me. I say that, that's a cocky way to look at it. It's not. I have just been doing this for over a decade, and I understand that people want to grow their businesses. They need help in all other factors that go a lot deeper than 50 bips, right? If, they're sending you 2 deals a month and they want 50 basis points and it's a $300,000 loan, you're talking, what is that? You're talking $1,500 times, you're talking $3,000 a month. I can prove that I'm worth a lot more than $3,000 a month. I just am. whether it's your business plan that you need help with, whether it's holding your people accountable, structuring sales strategies, going over objections, plugging you in with my network, giving you lead opportunities that I drive in the door. Whatever the case might be, I'm providing a lot more value. If the main value is money, that means you have to walk on eggshells forever any time that they're going to find somebody else is going to pay them more. Think about that for a second. All right, well, I'll match it 50 bips. Great. I'm going to do 55. I'm going to do 60. I'm going to do 75. Is that your value? So I'm not too concerned with what they're doing. I'm more concerned with the work that I put in and the message I'm able to deliver to my agents and making sure that they're not leaving what I'm putting together. And if they do leave, that's because I didn't do my job correctly. So that's the way I feel about it.
That's a good way to look at it. Our second question this week, quoting a refi in California. I've never done a loan there before. What should I project for title fees, transfer taxes, appraisal, etc.?
So we're here's what's cool, y'all, for those listening, because some of you might listen to this and go, what, that question, what's like, that question's not a difficult question. But here's the coolest part about our group right now. There's a lot of brand new loan officers coming into this group, which is amazing. And we want to make sure they never feel like they're on an island, because there are days where I know it feels that way for so many of our community. So for our awesome person that had this question, in your system, whether you're using Arrive or any other system, most of them have a button called Smart Fees, okay? So Smart Fees, what it'll do is it'll actually allocate the averages and tell you what the costs are based on every state that you're in. So you hit Smart Fees, there's a massive selection of different title companies you can pick from. If you want to just use the ones that they pre-select up front, you can, just to get the quote, but it'll actually break down what the fees are and who's supposed to pay the fees. It is generally pretty accurate. I always double check on things like transfer taxes in certain states that have large transfer tax fees that need to be paid. Also, for example, like in Michigan, transfer taxes are paid by the seller in almost all cases, except on a new build. On a new build, the builder is actually going to charge you, the client, the transfer taxes. So catching some of those nuances is trial and error, unfortunately. But smart assets, hit on that button in your system, hit import. It'll import the fees, tell you who's supposed to pay, and the averages are pretty darn close. So we appreciate you. That's what we want to answer here, y'all. As you can see, Tommy's picking questions that are not just very intricate, and you might need a 2.0 kind of background. We also want to help those out there that, hey, I'm newer to this. I need some little easy tips, things to navigate my way through this cycle in this market, and I don't want to be left alone. So thank you for that question. I loved it, but I hope that helps. Smart assets make your life easy.
I'm a firm believer that there's no stupid question, just except for the one you don't ask if you need the answer.
100%.
So use the Brokers Are Best Facebook group and get your questions answered, and you might just get them on the show. So moving on to number 3, is there a lender that could do a DSCR loan with a FICO score under 600?
All right. So here's all right. Y'all, it is very important that we understand risk tolerance. I'm not saying there isn't a lender out there. I'm saying that I am not going to go in a situation like that under 600. What you're asking somebody to do. So I want you to think it's your own money. Let's just say the loan's $100,000. All right. And someone's coming to you. They have under 600 credit score. And DSCR, right? We all know what that is. That is, you put a significant amount down, and then you want the rents, whatever the average rent's going to be, you want it to be able to cover whatever the mortgage payment's going to be. That's the idea of DSCR. That's how you get qualified. So you're basically saying, okay, under 600, here's what they'll do. They don't want to really put too much effort into it. They don't want their income. They don't want any of this. They want to do it with no income, none of that. Obviously, we have a bad credit score in front of us. So you're asking somebody to take that risk on a $100,000 loan. Would you give somebody that kind of money without a lot of red tape? The answer is you wouldn't. And if you did, that is not good. You shouldn't be doing that anyway. You probably shouldn't be lending money out. So is there a lender? Probably. The better question to ask your client is, can you put 50% down? Like, that's the first thing I do. You know, so many, this is you get out of the order taker mindset. Exit it. Make it leave. Order taker is, let me go find that loan for you. I'm sure we can find it. Expert does, let me ask you something. Roughly how much can you put down on this? The client says I can do 20%. Listen, and I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but from an investment standpoint, you understand investments. Obviously, you want to do a DSCR loan. You're asking us to find somebody willing to give you leverage with your credit score under 600. That down payment's going to need to be a lot more significant than 20%. For me to even find a lender here for us, I'm thinking we need to be in this range. And you all know that's the case. You all know the pricing. You all know what it looks like. So challenge your client. Push it back on them. Be the expert. Advise them on what's going on. Don't be an order taker. So is there a lender out there that does under 600? Maybe. Better question, can your client put 50% down? And then you take it from there. And if not, you got hard money and other opportunities. How bad does the client want this loan? And then also, do they understand the actual risk that gets taken with the loan? Make sure they know the risk of DSCR. So there's my answer to that.
Absolutely. And if you have more questions and could use a community to lean on, consider becoming an AIME member and joining the Brokers Are Best Facebook group, where you can ask your questions, and maybe if it's one of the top discussed posts, it'll be here on the show. So follow our ad, and we will see you on the other side with the sales pitch training.
Are you a wholesale mortgage professional? Well, then the very first thing you need is a community to help you and your business grow. With AIME membership, your community is right here. Joining our community means never navigating the market alone or operating without a safety net ever again. We are 16,000 members strong of united wholesale professionals. From rookies to top-ranking originators, all dedicated to supporting each other's success so we can grow together. Beyond entry to the best community in the mortgage industry, AIME membership gives you the resources, tools, guidance, discounts, services, and support that help you and your wholesale business grow, thrive, and most importantly, close more loans. AIME membership connects you with leading wholesale lenders and vendors, offering you exclusive access, services, and discounts that save you more money while helping you make more money. Never get stuck on a loan again with our lender escalation program. Grow your network and skills with the wholesale industry's best conferences and networking events. Get the strategies and skills of top originators and industry innovators with AIME's cutting-edge wholesale mortgage education, resources, and content. AIME offers all of this and more, starting at a low price of $19.99 a month. You heard it here first, couple cups of Starbucks coffee. For you to learn more and get started, all you have to do is visit aimegroup.com, AIME group.com /membership. Your community is waiting.
All right. And we're back for some sales pitch training.
Yes, sir. So, been thinking a lot about this, especially with the market and the movement. And I went to an event last week, and at the event was a real estate agent, a big agent here in Michigan. And he walked through a process that I have never, ever thought about before. And I'm curious how many of us have thought about this. And he said to me, on average, a person is in their home for roughly 15 years. Okay. On average, that's across the country. It's different by generations, obviously, but on average. So in his head, here's why this guy's amazing. In his head, he said, that means I need to know how to follow up for 15 years. That's how he started his presentation. I said, whoa. So he didn't start like everybody else. Here's the quick hits. Here's how you do it. Here's the fast way to win. Here's your quick instant gratification. He said, I plan for 15 years. So he starts talking. He starts going through his follow-up. He starts going through all of his situations, and he starts explaining the way that he does things. And you see, he also asked this question. He said, how many people, what is the average amount of contacts the person has in their phone? So people start throwing numbers out, and the average amount of contacts somebody has in their phone is 250 contacts. All right. 250. So here's what he got me thinking about. There's a lot of loan officers out there that haven't called their clients in months. And when I message and say, call your past clients, one of the biggest things I get is, John, I haven't talked to them before. Like, I literally haven't said a word since they closed on their house. They say that to me all the time. And I'm nervous, like I know I should, but I'm nervous. Like, what are they going to say? So I'm in the meeting and I ask him that question. I raise my hand because I am a student and I always will be. And I say, hey, here's what I do. I'm curious your take on this question. He looked at me and he said, John, it's my favorite question people ask. You know why? He said, because it's only loan officers and real estate agents that sit here and think the client's been thinking about them for the last 2 years. He said, this is why I said the average person has 250 contacts. You think they know they should be expecting a call from you? I was like, no, they don't. He said, of course they don't. They're not expecting it. So who cares? And then he said, when you do call, you want to know how I call with the difference between me and them? When people call, I said, sure, Mike, walk me through it. He said, when I call them, I say, hey, it's Mike Perna. I actually closed your home for you X amount of years ago. And I'm curious, why haven't you checked in on me? Dude, I loved it. It breaks the ice like that. And then he has fun with it, right? Because at first he goes, listen, he goes, that's not to make him feel a certain way. That's to break the ice, because right away and I'm just joking. I'm just messing with you. I know it's been a couple years. It's shame on me. And I just wanted to check in and see how things are going. I figured that'd be a great way to break the ice.
Where you were going with that, I was just like, that seems a little aggressive, but I love that a lot.
I said the same thing. I was like, at first say because his face, and he waits for the silence, and then right away tension broken. And he's right. It did. It breaks it. Look at your face. Even you smiled, and I felt the tension.
Yeah.
Cool part with that is he walked through that process, and I just watched you go through it live. Huh? Like, why would he say that? Like, how is it my fault? Like, why is it my fault I didn't call? And then that's the easiest way. So my sales tip to y'all is this: stop being afraid. Stop being afraid to check in. There's so many ways to do a quick check-in. A phone call is worth it. A voice note is worth it. Don't do a text. Don't just do an email. Those should be part of your drip campaigns and things that you do. But just make a call. Check in with them. See how they're doing. Find different ways to break the tension and break the ice.
I really do like that. And for context with me, I know we've talked about how I don't remember the broker that did my loan. And so if they called me and didn't explain it that way and say that their name and that they had closed the loan on my house, that gives me the context I need, because I don't remember. And so, but then having that and breaking the tension with the silence, and then my immediate response was to laugh. And then having that laugh, I think, especially right now with all the tension just in the world, everyone can use a laugh. So being able to generate that laugh for someone now might be even more impactful than before. And especially if you haven't followed up with them in a while, their life is probably in a very different place. So learn what that place is and see if you can help at all.
I love that, Tommy. Like, their life is in a different place. So find out where their life is right now. And it's not to sell anything. It really isn't. Like he said, his is a 15-year process. He's very aware. But he also knows the data tells him that each person should give him 4 to 5 referrals. That's what the data tells him. So that's it. And like, he's doing it in such a manner that's just checking in. And hey, it's a he has a 15-year built out process. 15 years. That's insane. Do you have your next 6 months? What about your next 30 days? What about your next 7?
Especially because it's so easy to just swipe red on a text or swipe red on an email. So here's my follow-up question to this.
Yeah.
They don't pick up because of all the spam calls that have been going on, and they don't recognize the number. What is the voicemail that you leave?
So I'm going to be different. He goes into a voice.
Sure.
me with a voicemail is kind of like the same approach. Hey, it's Jonathan. Hey, it's Jonathan. I actually did your mortgage for you back XYZ. And I'm checking in because I'm a little concerned, and I hope everything's okay. And just so you know, I'm just kidding. There's nothing to be concerned about. I hope you're loving this house. If you can give me a call back, I got a couple updates for you. My direct line is boom, boom, boom. And then I send a voice note to follow up. Hey, I just left you a voicemail. Here's my voicemail. They'll listen to the voicemail. They'll call me back usually right away. And it's always, it's a cool process.
Yeah, no, I like that a lot. And if you want to learn more helpful tips, you can think about joining us in Sacramento or Denver for a Unify event. So if you're in those areas, scan the QR code in the next ad, and we hope to see you there. And on the other side, we'll have story time with John.
Thank
So
you.
don't miss that.
If you're an independent mortgage broker, real estate pro, or home ownership advocate looking to connect with like-minded professionals, AIME is here to give back. If you're an independent mortgage broker, real estate pro, or home ownership advocate looking to connect with like-minded professionals, we have the perfect event for you. AIME is proud to bring you Unify, completely covered by AIME directly. Unify is AIME's local networking and education series designed to help you and your community build more referral relationships to grow your business together. Each event offers exclusive content focused on a topic shaping the mortgage industry with brief but powerful presentations from experts who have been in your shoes. Expect high-energy networking with real connections happening with real conversations. Plus, we're raffling off some pretty unique prizes at each and every event. Join the AIME's wholesale mortgage community, real estate professionals, and yes, even retail mortgage professionals. We want you there as well, because we know that we can make a difference in our local communities by connecting and having conversations together. This isn't just another event. This is where community meets opportunity. Whether you're looking for business strategies or the right people to help you level up, Unify delivers. Register today and join us for free. Just go to unify.aimegroup.com to get started.
All right, and we're back. I'm going to hop in the back, and I'll see you on the other side of Storytime.
All right, y'all. How many people have tried to coach and it just didn't pan out to what you wanted? You know, when I was 17, 18, 19, 20 years old, I was very big into weightlifting, bodybuilding, powerlifting, all of it. I became obsessed with it. I loved it. It was a thrill. It was a seek. It was something that I just woke up every morning with so much passion and energy for. And then when I turned 21, I got into mortgages and I started making a lot of money. Turned out that I liked that a lot more than I did working out at the time. And I was young, 21, 22. So you can do a lot of things at 21, 22 that you can't do as you start to go through this journey of life. And so for me, going out, no issue. Waking up the next day, no problem. Hangovers, no problem. Everything was no problem. Well, what happened was as the years passed, yes, my money was growing, but my happiness was declining. And why was it declining? Because my body, I started to let it go. And I started to gain weight. I started to get frustrated. All this stuff I never thought I had to worry about because I was young and it would be fine. And, oh, it's not going to happen to me. It did happen to me. It caught up. So I try the diets and getting back into the gym, and I tried multiple years, and I had my moments. I had my moments where I'd lose some weight. I'd get on a good plan. I get a good diet. But then, as always, I would succumb to the pressures and would not be able to execute on what I wanted. So now fast forward, and I've gone through this cycle now 5, 6, 7, 8 times. Does that sound familiar to a lot of you? New Year's resolutions, quarterly planning, have a vacation coming up, a wedding coming up. All of a sudden you're ready to go and get back in shape. Well, that was me too. And finally, after multiple coaches, by the way, the coaches I work with, good people. I just needed something different for my life and what I had in front of me and the obligations that I have. So not long ago, I met with a coach, a coach that has worked with many celebrities, many other people. And I got introduced and I said, all right, here we go. Here comes the same thing, but let me at least have a conversation with him. So I sit down with this guy and I'm not going to give his name yet because I'm doing this whole story after my transformation is done. But I sit down with this guy and he tell me everything. So I tell him, we walk through the process. I explained to him things. He said, look, I'm not really taking on clients right now. I'm busy. There's a lot I have going on, but you come highly recommended. We had a mutual friend that I came highly recommended from. So if you want to do this, here's how I operate. He's very hardcore. He's very intense. He is a Marine, if that gives you any context. And he said, here's what I charge, but I will change your life. Everything that you do, I'll change your life. So he puts together this whole plan and then slaps me the payment. He says, here's what it's going to cost you. Are you sure you want to do it? So at first I'm like, yeah, sure. I get the letter. I see how much it's going to cost. And I say, I need to talk to my wife. I gave him the objection. I gave him the objection that clients give to us. And, as a married person now, definitely something you should do. So I reach out, I tell my wife, and then I start doing research. I start looking at my DoorDash. I start looking at how much money I've spent, how much money we've spent on takeout food, everything. I was like, all right, I start adding it up over 2 years. It's a number that I am not going to say. It's embarrassing. And I'm sure there's a lot of people on here that probably feel the same way. So I finally told him, I said, you know what? I'm in. Let's do it. If this can change my eating habits, this actually looks like I can save money long term. Yes, the investment's expensive up front, but long term, like this sounds like it's going to change my life. So he gives me everything. First week, gives it to me. It was crazy. I'm taking supplements every hour on the hour. I see all the meals and, excitement starts. So the excitement started. And then I'm 2 days in and I'm like, oh my God, what did I just do? There's no way. I'm traveling like crazy. I have 3 kids. I'm I have my relationship with my wife, with work, with colleagues, running 2 different businesses. Like, oh my goodness, what did I do? So a week passes by. I have to send him updates daily. And he notices that I'm starting to lack on sending updates. Calls me Sunday for my next week. So he goes, what's wrong? I go, I'm good, man. I'm good. He goes, call me now. So I call him. He said, what's wrong? I tell him man, I think I screwed up. I get it. No refunds. He goes, no. It's not how this works. I adjust to you. You don't adjust to me. So what? I said, yeah, I need you to tell me what's going on. I need to understand your baseline. That's why I put together what I did to see where you're at. Then he starts making crazy adjustments. And what I mean by that is he was following my schedule to a T. And now he has me set up on a plan that works for my life. On Mondays, I have 1 meal a day. On Tuesdays, I fast. On Wednesdays, it's a full day of eating and training. On Thursdays, I have 1 meal a day. On Friday, I fast. On Saturday, Sunday, it's full training and full meals. Some of you might think, John, that's crazy. I love it. I love it. And Tommy, I know you're listening behind the scenes, my friend. In 45 days, I have dropped 22 pounds and 8% body fat. I'm the happiest I've been with the way I feel in my body than I've been in years. And I am not going to slow down. My confidence is through the roof. Why do I say that to you? I say that to you because for the longest time, I told myself I used to bodybuild. I used to weight train. I don't need somebody to train me. I don't need somebody to teach me. It turns out I could not have been more wrong. I needed somebody that understood my needs and understood how to hold me accountable the way that was required for me to get the job done. And it took me time to find that person. It's taken me 12 years. So for those of you out there that are listening, find a coach that will hold you accountable. That is the most important thing when you're getting coached. You need somebody that will hold you accountable to everything you say that you're going to do. And that needs to be something they're obsessed with. They need to be crazy about it. That's the only way you will break your habits. And I finally found my opportunity. And I want you to find yours. And they're out there. Find them. Latch onto them. Tell them what you need. And just remember, if you feel deflated and you feel down, you maybe just might not have the right coach. There's a lot of them out there. So that's what I have for all of you today. That is my story. I hope you appreciate it.
Sounds like a great coach.
Amazing, man. It's amazing for me. Look, it's not for, I lied. It is for everybody. I lied because people are like, well, it's too intense. Yeah, it's not though. It's not, because the truth is, look, if you're physically capable, right? Because there are people out there that aren't. People in my family as well, where it's like they physically can't. That's different. If you're somebody that physically can, which is a majority of the people listening, you don't have an excuse. One of the things I talked to him about, I was talking about, my kids, I'm busy, I'm not sleeping well through the night. He's like, are you gonna go through life letting your kids give you excuses too? I said, what? He said, you can't find 30 minutes, John? 30 minutes at all? No, sir, I can find 30 minutes. Okay, cool. Like, do you want to find 30 minutes? Yes, sir, I do. All right. Cool.
Yeah. Having someone be accountable is just, it's so important. And having people like that in your life is like you said, life changing.
Life-changing, man. So shout out to you, my friend. I got something special coming for you. You know who you are. I'm not going to mention your name yet, but we're getting close.
Cool. Well, if you are looking for coaching of your own, maybe you can find coaching at Fuse. So take a listen to the ad read, scan the QR code, make sure you get your hotel. They are booking up fast, and get on the wait list. The agenda came out for Fuse, so get on the wait list, and you'll be the first to know when tickets are on sale and when AIME members can claim theirs. So we'll see you on the other end.
Fuse is just around the corner, believe it or not, another year down. And we are excited for the largest event of the entire wholesale mortgage industry. Fuse National Conference 2025 is taking its show on the road. Now emanating from Nashville, Tennessee, from October 23rd through the 25th. This event is all about sales, sales, sales. Don't miss the chance to join us in Music City for 3 days full of the most cutting-edge content we've ever produced, featuring the industry's top minds, leaders, and innovators. Access the newest tools and resources from wholesale leading lenders and vendors. Take part in our acclaimed workshop summits for free. Catch wholesale's rising stars in their very own breakout sessions. And of course, take part in the best and, quite frankly, the most fun networking opportunities you'll find in the wholesale channel. Join us to grow your network, your skill set, and your business at what will no doubt be the greatest Fuse conference yet. Go to fuse.aimgroup.com to sign up and receive updates when tickets go on sale. Secure your hotel room and get your Fuse tickets for free. That's a $600 value for the prices as low as $199 when you sign up for an AIME annual membership. Don't miss your chance to be there when wholesale history is made at Fuse 2025. I can't wait to see you there.
Before we get into the recap, I just want to say I'm so excited for Fuse. The more of these videos I get to do, I'm doing the broker to broker recordings and the live streams with our vendors and lenders and just all the incredible people in our community that I've gotten to meet through this, I get to see in person. Because I ask them every time, you coming to Fuse? Am I going to meet you in Fuse? And their answer is always yes. And it's just, I don't know. I'm excited to see people in person. It'll be a lot of fun.
Brother. We are bringing the house down, and I think people are going to love the guest speakers that we have and the lineups and what we're doing and the different approaches that we're taking. So we're ready to go.
Absolutely. So takeaways this week from the Broker Buzz, I think just reiterating that there is no stupid questions, and the only stupid question is the one you don't ask. So ask away. And then sales pitch training. You want to take that? Having your accountability, having someone, an architect, right? Tying it back to a previous one of just making sure you are the best you, and take away from the story time.
You asking me?
Yeah. I'm asking you.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Tommy. I was like, are you doing it? Takeaway from the story time is don't think that you know how to do everything. You got to find the right coach. And if the first coach you talk to doesn't pan out, don't stop there and give yourself a negative connotation into, oh, all coaches are like this. They're not. Everyone's different. Somebody needs something different. I'm not as appealing to everybody. I'm okay with that. You're going to want somebody else that gives you information besides me. Totally fine. Same exact thing with coaches. So don't stop trying to get in front of one. Get one that'll help you grow and take your limits to the next level.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the Broker Power Up podcast. If you found today's tips helpful, do us a favor, hit the like button. If you're watching on YouTube, let us know you enjoyed it, which helps even more people see the content. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. Ring the bell to get notified every time we drop new content. Share this video with a fellow broker who could use a power up. And remember to lead by example, to lift each other up, to grow together, and most importantly, close more loans. Until next time, we'll keep powering up.